We're back again with Todd Staples, president of the Texas Oil and Gas Association, talking about how the industry is recovering during the pandemic. So, Todd, with the state legislature getting started, are there any bills that you've seen or any that you hope get filed that could help promote the energy industry?
Well, I think my father-in-law sent me a political cartoon after one legislative session. It said, "We came, we saw, we did no irreparable harm." And so I think for a lot of Texans, that captures where our thinking is that the legislature can cause troubles a lot of times. But in thinking about proactive things that does need to be done, I think tax policy is important. I think you see companies that are exiting these other states. And I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with Rob Kaplan, the president and CEO of the Dallas Federal Reserve here recently. And you know, he commented on the number of relocations to Texas and how important our overall policy, our regulatory approach to working with industry and the tax policy is to continue to attract. So there's a provision in our tax code right now, because property taxes are so high, that helps us compete with other states to get big capital projects to Texas that benefits us all. And that's called the renewal of Chapter 313 of the tax code. We think that's an important element on tax policy that's tangible. I know a lot of my friends are asking for some changes in eminent domain process when it comes to building the necessary infrastructure like electricity to our homes, fuel lines to get gasoline in a neighborhood near you, high-speed broadband internet, those types of things where sometimes eminent domain is needed. I think it's important that we address the concerns that have been raised. I think it's important that we are responsive to landowner concerns, but I think it's essential that we have the highways we need, we get the water projects built that we need, and we get the transportation of our fuels that we need. And so it's got to be done in the right way. And I'm hoping the legislature can find that right solution this year. And certainly TexOGA members are a part of developing and delivering those solutions. And then lastly, David, I think it's important that we base our policies on sound science, not political science. There's a lot of rhetoric today about different proposals, and we've seen some coming out of DC here recently that I think should alarm all Texans and all Americans. We want political science to be left for the political season. When it comes to policy, we need the right, smart way to do business.
Well, and speaking of politics in DC, there's been a lot of talk about President Biden's decision to cancel the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline. How much does that impact Texas?
You know, obviously, industry wants to work with this new administration. We would like to have a rational conversation about our energy needs and how we best meet them. The thing about the Keystone pipeline is that's delivering a different grade of oil than we normally and typically produce in Texas, that our refiners need to make certain that our gasoline is reliable and affordable at the gas pump. And so by canceling that permit, it really punishes consumers, because there's no substitute for that product. And it's being delivered today through trains and other less reliable delivery sources. And so what it has the potential to do is make us dependent on foreign sources of oil for our energy needs. As I said before, we're all for an all of the above energy approach. Renewable energies are fine, but you have to deliver the infrastructure there too, right? And so that means more power lines, more power generation from electricity if we go to solar or wind and these other types of energy, which, by the way, solar panels, wind turbines and blades, electric vehicles, none of those are possible without oil and gas, because oil and gas is used in the components of these types of products. And so we're all in this together. Let's have a cleaner, stronger energy future, I think, is the real goal that we share with most Texans.
Lastly, I want you to listen to this quote from John Kerry last week during his first public appearance as the president's special envoy for climate, when he was asked what he would tell a fossil fuel worker whose job was lost due to the Biden administration's policies. Take a listen.
So what President Biden wants to do is make sure those folks have better choices, that they have alternatives, that they can be the people who go to work to make the solar panels. They were making them here at home. That is going to be a particular focus of the Build Back Better agenda.
So Todd, how realistic is it for someone to potentially switch to a career in renewables if they've been working in fossil fuels?
Yeah, I think that statement really captures how out of touch these policies are with working Americans and with working Texans. I was in Odessa just a couple of weeks ago with Governor Abbott for a roundtable, and we were with energy workers, frontline energy workers, the men and women whose job it is to deliver every single day. And the person next to me said, I'm kind of offended by that, to paraphrase him. But what he did say was, I like my job. It's hard to get a job. And I don't want to go chase some other job in another state, another industry. I like the job I have. And, he also said, airline pilots are airline pilots because they want to be. They can't just go be a truck driver overnight because government mandates that occur. And truck drivers are truck drivers because they want to be. And so I think it's really out of touch for people in government to suggest to hardworking Texans, oh, you can just go get another job. Jobs are hard to come by. In the oil and gas industry, it pays twice the average salary that what can be found in the other private sector jobs. And so I think those that are employed or that want to get employed in the industry are highly offended by that. We've started actually a career center at our Texas Oil and Gas Association at texoga.org to help men and women who are looking for jobs and to help industry that's needing to match those up. And so we want to be a help, we want to be a resource, and we want to continue to grow a strong economy. And look, our energy choices do not have to be either or. And we do not have to choose between our economy and our environment. Industry has a great history of delivering on the needs of Americans, and we're committed to doing that going forward.
Well, Todd, thanks so much for talking to me today.
Great to be with you. Look forward to the next opportunity.